We all love shine and sparkle on our cards, right? The easiest way to add shine and sparkle to our cards is to apply Glitz Glitter Gel from Gina K Designs and Thermoweb to our cards through a stencil. And 4 new cards of Glitz Glitter Gel were just introduced at Creativation this year. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik and I recently received 2 of the 4 new colors, the Brilliant Blue and the Silver, and played with them right away. The other 2 new colors are Lovely Lavender and Iridescent, and they look gorgeous too. I can't wait to try the Iridescent on dark cardstock. I recently saw a card by Karen Berniston with a disco ball and a stamp from Riley and Company called Staying Alive that looks just like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. So cute. So I had to get him and create a few cards with the Glitz Glitter Gel. This is the first card that I made. So I applied the silver Glitz Glitter Gel through a stencil, and this is the result. I'm hoping that you can see how that really sparkles. So this Riley, of course, is from Riley and Company. It's called Staying Alive, and this shine is from Honey Bee Stamps. I love layered dies, and these have 3 layers that you can mix and match. So this one I just used the single layer for shine, and on this one I chose the word sparkle and I used 2 layers. So I cut the background of the word, the first background, out of the starry background that I created with the silver Glitz Glitter Gel on navy blue. And here is John Travolta, Riley again. Isn't that cute? So I'm loving how these turned out. This is the third way that you can use those Honey Bee Stamps dies, and there are 2 backgrounds, and this one has dots. It's a little bigger and it has dots all the way around. So those cost a little more, but you get 2 backgrounds and the words. You have many different ways to use them. This is the gorgeous Brilliant Blue on black cardstock. So it is just beautiful. It works obviously well on white or black or any color, but I particularly like that blue on that black background. So this is the front of the card, but just wait to see what happens when you slide the belly band off. I think I'm going to have to put it down to do that, because I'm sliding the belly band off, and it pops open. And this is the Karen Berniston Surprise Pop-Up die. It pops, it lays flat, and then it pops. Every time it's opened, it pops. And I'm going to show you how I made this. Now, I cased this card from Karen Berniston, and I have a link to hers in the description box. Cased means copy and selectively edit, and I did change it up to make it my own, but the disco ball and the Riley stamp were her ideas. So we have Riley again dressed like John Travolta, and this stamp here, Make Today Ridiculously Amazing, is also from Riley and Company. So I'm just going to show you the supplies real quick. That's Riley. And then this is the Surprise Ball Pop-Up, and I'm going to show you how that works. Now, I always suggest that you go and watch Karen's videos on her dies too, and she does obviously a very good job of showing us how to work with these dies. There's the other stamp that I used from Riley and Company. Here is the Shine 3-part die from Honey Bee Stamps. So you get the word, and then you get 1 layer and 2 layers. You can use all 3 together or just 1 at a time or 2. And then this is another stencil that I used. I'll show you. I used this with the silver, and this one's from Hero Arts. To create this card, I started by applying the Brilliant Blue and Silver Glitz Glitter Gel to black and white pieces of cardstock through two different stencils. Now this is not at all hard to do, and I'm going to show you that, but I wanted to show you that the silver I put on white and black, and I've cut out pieces for the card. And then the blue I again put on the black and on the white, and I've cut these pieces ready to go. The card itself is 5.5 by 11, and it's scored in the middle for a top folding card, and then this piece and this piece are cut to 5 1/4 square and attached. This stencil is called Cubist, and it is from the Crafters Workshop. So that piece is ready to go. So these are really, really easy to use. You simply open them up, of course, and the Glitz Glitter Gel is very soft, and after you use it, it flattens out again, and it's just, and it never dries out like some of the other ones that I have used. So I'm really liking it. And it's really, again, easy. Sometimes when you're working with a stencil and a gel and you go over it again, it's just harder to get it even, but that's really not the case with this Glitz Glitter Gel. I'm just going back over it to pick up some of that excess, because you really don't want to lose any of that beauty. I've held the stencil down with my favorite purple tape from Thermoweb. And then I leave the last piece on and lift it like a hinge. Now I have a stencil bath prepared here on the side, and I'm going to throw these in that. Now you can see that beautiful Glitz Glitter Gel on the black background. This dries fairly quickly, like in about a half an hour or so, so it's less time than many of the other pastes or glitter gels that you might be using. Clean a little bit of that off my hands here. So I created a belly band, and it is 12 by 2, and it's scored at 2 3/4 and 8 1/2, and it's attached in the back with just some skinny tape. I cut a piece off of this piece that I created before for the front of the belly band, and of course this is the shine from Honeybee Stamps, and I die cut a few stars out of the black piece, and that is ready to go. This piece is going to be on the inside of the card, so I die cut it with a Gina Marie Designs wonky rectangle die, and then I am going to put on Riley with his white suit and his blue vest. Now I admit I am no good at coloring, and I don't really like it, but one thing I do like to do is paper piecing. So if I cut Riley out of like a craft brown paper, and I fussy cut him, but deliberately I did not try to be perfect on the suit part because that's going to be covered up with this. So to fussy cut and to paper piece, I find it very easy to do with a good scissors like these mini Kais, and then you take two-sided tape and you apply it all over the back of a roughly cut piece, and then you cut right to where you want this to be, just to the outside of the black line. And I started it before because you don't need to watch me do the whole thing, but there is his suit, and then we're going to put it on him. And because you put tape over the back of the piece, it is going to stay just where you want it. So I did do a blue vest, even though in the movie it's totally white. I liked having a little bit of color on his suit. So I'm going to put a piece of two-sided tape on the back of that, and then just to the outside of the black line I am cutting his vest out. And again, there's two-sided tape on the back, so you never have to worry about adding glue or anything to this very small piece. And when I paper piece, of course, I usually use pattern paper like I did on this one. Isn't that cute with that pattern paper and his yellow vest? But I decided to go for the more traditional look like it showed in the movie. I have some two-sided tape on the back here, and Riley's piece is ready to go. Now the surprise ball pop-up is not at all hard to put together. You're going to cut two of the main pieces, and you're going to fold on all of the scored lines. So they're easy to find, and you fold on all of those scored lines. I have put a large brad in one of the holes, and you're going to fold down these pieces here, which you will find there's just two sides that have those extra flaps, and that's to strengthen it. And I have glued the first one of these pieces, so there are two sides that are different than the rest, and they have like a flap thing here. Okay, so I glued the first one together to save a little time, and then after you have it set like this, everything folded and the first one glued together, then you're just going to go to the next one and you're going to attach these two together. Now what I did is I put a strong score tape on there. You can use glue or tape. It takes a little while for glue to set up on each one of these. So while I do use the glue for that first one, on these I'm just using a score tape. So you have one on this side and one on this side, and they simply fit together. Except, you know what I forgot to do? The first thing I was going to show you was, after you get that initial start, you do want to attach a rubber band to the first one that you glued together there. And there's a slot, and then you slide it in the slot, which would be easier to do if I had done it first, but that's okay. All the way to the center, and there's like a little spot, you know, a little circle that's where it catches. So there is a rubber band there. Now I was using a slightly looser one for the first couple balls that I did, and they popped up really nice at first, but then I gave them to my grandchildren and they had been in an envelope for a little while, and then they just didn't pop as well. So I'm using a tighter one. You'll have to experiment with the ones you have, and also Karen did give certain specific sizes, but my bag of rubber bands were, you know, very generic from the dollar store. So, but I'm using a slightly smaller one, and now it's popping up really, really nice. So now we want to continue putting these side things together. My fingers screwed up here. You get them straight, and then you push that down. So I have 3 of the sides together, and now we're back to one of these. So these here, what you do is you're going to put them together so that this part sticks, but you don't want any glue right in that slot, because that's where the rubber band is going to be. So you'll put some glue or something along here. This can have a lot more glue, but here you just want one line of it. And then you're going to line those up. My fingers don't want to work right now. Holding them together until they set up. But you do want these slot pieces here to be able to move. I know it's a little hard to see, but this slot has to be open, but the rest of it you want to hold very securely. And then you're going to take the rubber band from one side to the other and slide it in that slot, which can get a little bit difficult to do, but it can be done. Slide it down to the circle, and then I'm going to attach these last 2, and your ball will be complete. So it will lay flat and then it will pop open. So I can attach these last 2 and that will happen. So it's not difficult to do. One thing I do suggest is the material that you use to make the ball. My first couple ones I used slightly less heavy cardstock, and in maneuvering that rubber band in there, sometimes it wanted to tear, so now I'm using 110-pound weight, and I've not had that inside piece tear. And once we would attach these last 2, you would have a complete ball. So I went ahead and did that. This is my ball that is done, and as I showed you initially, I cut out all the pieces for the disco ball out of these black and white pieces of Glitz glitter gel through that one stencil. So I have the top, and then every other one is either silver or black all the way around this really cool disco ball. So this is the front of our card. On the inside I punched a hole where this brad is going to go. So you're going to slide that brad through and grab it down here and then open it. Flatten it out. I can do that. Okay. So the brad is holding it in place, but it also means that it can be spun around, and then the ball will flatten and then pop. I just think that's the coolest thing. I just love it, and I think anyone that you would give this to would love it too. I need some tape. So I have Riley dressed as John Travolta. Make today ridiculously amazing. And then we're going to close it and slide on our belly band, which says Shine, which is perfect for this Glitz Glitter Gel. And then you mail it. You would probably need an extra stamp because it's kind of thick. And they'll open it up and see Shine and all that beautiful sparkle from the Glitz Glitter Gel. And then when they slide it off, the ball pops up. It is so cool. I just love that. I love, love, love how this card turned out, and thank Karen Burniston for the inspiration. Using the shine and sparkle of the new colors of Glitz Glitter Gel and the perfect stamps from Riley & Company and layered sentiment dies from Honey Bee Stamps, all made for a card I may love too much to give away. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and thanks too for helping me share the joy of creativity.